This is how you make nice soft chapatis. Look how soft those chapatis are. Hello everybody, jambo, habari yenyu. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to my kitchen today, guys. Today I'm going to be making a dish that some of you may be familiar with, some of you may not be familiar with, but today I am going to teach you how to make chapatis the Kenyan way. And not only making chapatis, I'm going to be showing you how to make the softest chapati that you have ever eaten. So if you want to see how to make the softest chapatis, stay tuned, watch the video till the end so that you watch step by step and follow the instructions, and I can tell you, you'll be eating the softest chapatis that you've ever eaten. My name is Sharon Baraka and you are welcome to Sharon Baraka Vlogs. If you haven't subscribed, please do not forget to subscribe. Yes, that red subscribe button over there, and also do not forget to press that notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you will be the first one to be notified and you will not miss out on any video. And without further ado, guys, let's go and make these chapatis. The first step is to get some hot water. You will need some very hot water to make the chapatis soft. I had added some oil inside my mixing bowl, that's why the water is like that. Now we are going to add some sugar. Sugar helps the chapati to have a nice taste, so make sure you add sugar to your chapatis. And then you'll also need a tiny bit of salt, just like a teaspoonful of salt. Don't put a lot, kiasi tu. And our final ingredient is the plain flour. Use the plain flour, don't use the self-raising one. And that is all you need to make the chapatis. Those are the only ingredients you need to make nice and soft and yummy chapatis. So follow what I will be doing step by step and you will surely not regret it. Please use a spatula when you're mixing your flour to the hot water, because this water is very hot. You can injure your hands and you don't want to do that. So please find something that you can mix with. I recommend you using a plastic spatula, but if you don't have and you have a wooden spoon, it's still fine. You can use it, but don't use your bare hands to mix this flour at the initial stages because it's very hot water. Keep mixing. What you want to achieve is a nice soft dough, nice consistency. So if it is still sticky, keep adding flour. You don't want it to be sticking. And then at this point is the right time to add oil. Oil also helps to make the chapatis nice and soft, so make sure you add some oil as you're mixing at this stage and your chapatis will be nice and soft. And when you're eating, they come apart like layer by layer. So keep adding the flour to make sure that it is not sticky, up to the point where it's going to be nice and the dough is not sticky. When the dough is nice and not sticking, make sure you clean your surface. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it on here so that we can continue kneading it with our hands. At this point it's not hot, so it is safe to use your hands and continue kneading it to make sure that all the air is out, so as we are rolling it, it's not going to be sticking. So you can either put it down directly on your worktop, or if you have something to put it on, it's entirely up to you, but you need to continue kneading and make sure all the water is completely dried out. Like you can see, our dough is now nice and soft, it's not sticking, and what you want to do is cover it for a few minutes before we start rolling it. Keep following, guys.
A few moments later.
Covering the dough for a few minutes allows the flour to rise so that you can have some nice soft chapatis. So when you open it up, make sure you are kneading it again to remove all the trapped air inside, and that's how you get nice and soft chapatis. So keep following and see what you need to do. I prefer to separate the big dough into two big balls, or depending on how much flour I have, it can be 3, but for this one it's not that much, so I'm going to separate it into 2 big balls so that we can roll them out. So keep following and I'll explain to you the reason why I do this. So I'm going to roll one of the big ball, and I'm going to set the other one aside for later. I know at this point some of you are a bit confused, wondering, Sharon, kwani you're making chapati kubwa like matoma jogu? No, actually I find it easy to do it this way, because chapatis you're supposed to make small balls, but for me I find it easier to do it this way. So I'm going to put butter. I prefer cooking with ghee butter because it makes the chapatis nice and soft, but if you don't have the ghee, you can use the vegetable oil or any other oil, olive oil or whatever you have. Make sure that you spread all the oil on the big chapati that you've rolled out, and then once you've spread out all the oil, what you need to do then is now cut into small pieces like I'm going to be showing you, and then roll into small balls of chapati. So I find it doing it like this is easier than rolling into small chapatis and then cutting each individual ones. I find this style more easier and I cook more faster. you also want to be careful as you're cutting so that you cut equal sizes. You don't want some chapatis to be bigger than the others. So again, use your eyes or your skills when you're cutting them into smaller pieces to ensure that they are all equal sizes of the small balls. To cut the chapatis into small balls, I normally recommend using that plastic cutter that I'm using because it will not damage your worktop. If you don't have a plastic cutter, you can use a blunt knife like a bread knife. You don't want to use a sharp knife for the kitchen because that can easily damage your worktop, or if you're using a roller pad like I'm using, it can easily damage it. Something else you can use is a pizza cutter. In fact, I think I'm going to be using a pizza cutter in the next batch just so that I can show you. I actually find the pizza cutter easier because you just roll it out and it's easier to separate the chapatis into smaller balls. Okay, now that we have all the small balls rolled out from the big batch that we had before, we are now going to start rolling them to the normal chapati sizes that we're supposed to have. I'm gonna put an apron at this point because I don't want to mess my dress. It's a messy job when you're making chapatis, by the way, so it would be nice if you have an apron that you can use so that you don't end up messing up yourself. And then what you need to do is make sure that you've got your pan on the fire and it needs to be hot. As you're rolling it out, make sure that you have it on the fire. And I'm going to show you the normal sizes of the chapati that you need to achieve as we roll out. Now this is our final round. So with the chapati, you don't want them to be too thick and you also don't want them to be too thin. You want somewhere in between. But remember, the sizes are going to be guided by the sizes of the dough ball that we cut originally, and you can only roll it out according to the sizes that you cut out from the beginning. The reason why I love using this rolling pad is because it actually has size guidance. It has circles on top of it. It can tell you how big or what sizes you can have your chapatis, and I normally like using it, although I don't really have to because I'm now experienced and I can look with my eyes and tell whether the sizes of the chapatis are equal size. But this is also a nice way of guiding you. If you'd like to get yourself something like that, you can get one for yourself using the link that I'm going to leave down below. Use my code and you can get one from yourself from Amazon. Our pan is now hot and ready to start cooking the chapatis, and this is how we normally do it. Again, I'm going to use the butter to put it on the pan as we are cooking the chapatis, and this is how we make them on the pan. If you don't have the ghee butter, you can use normal oil. Again, you don't have to use the ghee butter, but I just find it nice and it makes the chapatis taste also good. But if you don't have it, you can use normal cooking oil, olive oil, oil of your choice. It really does not matter. Don't put a lot of oil, only like a tiny half spoonful is what you need. Remember, you already had put oil when you were mixing the chapati, so it has plenty of oil inside of it. Again, you don't want them to be too oily, so don't use too much when you're cooking. It can get very hot, so you may want to use a spatula that has a longer handle. If you use a normal eating spoon, that might actually burn you. So if you have a longer spatula that has a handle, it will be better. So make sure you're flipping both sides as you're cooking. Yeah, and that is our chapati number 1. And as you're cooking, make sure you are also rolling them out. So you have to multitask. When you're making chapatis, you can't just make one and then stop. You have to keep multitasking. Again, make sure you're flipping both sides and continue putting oil. Just a tiny little amount of oil at this point is what you need. Make sure you have oil on both sides of the chapati, and that's going to make them nice and soft. So, and you can see how soft it is. You know, when you take it, it is nice and soft. And make sure when you put them on the plate or wherever it is that you're going to be storing them, make sure that you're also covering so that they can keep the heat, the warmth, and they continue to be soft. Okay, so we have finished batch number 1. Remember, we had cut out 2 big dough balls before. We finished the first one. I'm now rolling the second one, and we are going to start making the second batch of the chapatis. Again, same process like before. Make sure you're rolling your dough ball out into one big chapati. Put your ghee oil, spread it evenly everywhere on top of your big chapati that you've rolled out, and then what you want to do is to cut out into small pieces. And the reason I'm doing this is actually want to show you how to use a pizza cutter. Look how smooth it is using a pizza cutter. I actually prefer using the pizza cutter than the plastic cutter because I find it so nice and smooth. Only thing you need to do is make sure that you've got equal sizes so that you can have equal sizes of chapati in the end when you're cooking. By the way, making chapatis take a lot of time, so you don't want to do this when you are in a rush. You want to do on a day when you're not in any rush. I prefer doing mine on Saturdays because I don't work on Saturdays and I have more free time. Or you can even make them on Sundays after church, or whenever you have a free time. If you don't work Monday to Friday, maybe you have a day off in between, just make sure you have enough time before starting to make them because they do take a lot of time. And finally guys, after nearly 2 hours, I am completely done. These are all our chapatis done. Let me show you how soft they are. Okay, so it's time to clean up guys. I like cleaning as I go. And by the way, you know that rolling pad that I was telling you before, I love it because all you need to do is once you've finished making your chapatis and rolling them out, you just wash it out in the sink like this. It's nice and easy. Wash it out, dry it out, and it's going to be ready for the next time you prepare chapati or whatever it is that you're going to be kneading it on. Just store it nice and clean. It's easy, and then it keep your worktop clean. You know, it doesn't leave your worktop with a lot of mess. That's why I love it. Let's clean up guys for now, yeah, and then I will show you the final results. And this is how you make nice soft chapatis. Look how soft those chapatis are. Guys, so hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Hope you have enjoyed watching this content with the most softest chapatis that you have ever eaten. Hot water is the key. The hot water is a must if you want to eat soft chapatis. Like you have watched the video, follow step-by-step guidelines, yeah, and then come and thank me later. Again guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell as well, and do not forget to leave me a nice comment down below. I also have another channel. It's called Baraka Global Media. On that channel I tell you guys all about immigrating to the UK, the changes of the legislation, what's happening, the current information. So stay tuned on that channel as well. Please do not also forget to subscribe to that channel, so that if you are one of those who want to relocate to the UK on the skilled worker jobs, well, it's going to be changing. But if you want to come to the UK for any reasons, I'm going to be giving you any updates on ways that you can relocate to come to the UK. And until I come back with another one, guys, for now, I say Baraka.